Jackson, NBC.
Your cameras. Trust only the best. Protect your family, home, or business with 24/7 armed response. Remember, AmeriGuards it.
Lithia Subaru of Fresno proudly supports tonight's first segment of local news that matters. Lithia Subaru of Fresno. Subaru. Confidence in motion. KSEE 24 News begins with your forecast first from your local weather authority.
I'm Chief Meteorologist AJ Fox. Our temperatures today were warmer than yesterday. Currently, radar is still very clear, and our valley cam shows also clear skies. Now tomorrow, a bit of a breeze. It's not going to add clouds, but it will certainly add cooler air to our forecast for one day, and then we start warming up again as we get into the weekend. I'll have your complete forecast coming up. KSEE 24 News at 11 starts right now.
Local news that matters. This is KSEE 24 News at 11.
That email did not contain the words wire fraud, which is why it was not discovered in the search.
The city of Fresno scammed out of $400 grand in taxpayer dollars. The current and former mayor speaking out tonight over allegations of a cover-up. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Alexander Balakian.
And I'm Stephanie Barugian. A young life taken far too soon. The community of Hanford mourning the death of a teenage girl killed in a car accident. Our Juanita Adame with more on a vigil held tonight in her memory.
A vigil was held this evening to honor the life of a young softball player gone too soon. She was known by her softball teammates as Swaggy P.
Marissa was a hustler. She was the first one here, last one to leave. We needed buckets picked up. She was the first one to grab them. No matter what we needed, she was always on it.
And today, the life of 15-year-old Marissa Cardona, a freshman at Hanford West High School, killed in a car accident on March 5th, was honored with the candlelight vigil.
Being that tomorrow's going to be our first game, since Marissa had left us, we wanted to do something this time that this would be a good tribute to her.
Marissa's coach, Frank Hernandez, said they were scheduled to play at a tournament on the morning of the accident.
So they were supposed to be there by 8, and Marissa never showed, and which wasn't like her because she was always one of the first ones there.
It was not long after that they received the news that Marissa and her mom had crashed while on their way to the tournament. The young girl was killed on impact.
She was always a leader, wasn't always the loudest person on the field, but her work ethic, there was no denying what she could do.
Her sudden loss has not set in yet with the team. Hernandez said they had spoken to her minutes before her death.
That morning, they messaged her at 7:04. Again, she said, hey, I want to confirm this is what we're wearing. And they responded, yeah, that's it. And we found out later that just 6 minutes later, they were involved in her accident 6 minutes from their house.
The cause of the crash is still under investigation. Reporting in Hanford, Juanita Adame, KSEE 24, local news that matters.
Also topping our newscast tonight, back over allegations of a cover-up that the city fell victim to a phishing scam, losing $400,000 in taxpayer money during the Lee Brand administration. After the Fresno Bee made several requests for documents about wire fraud, the information then leaked. KSEE 24 weekend anchor Jennifer Ortega joins us live from City Hall. Jennifer, former Mayor Lee Brand and current Mayor Jerry Dyer offering their side of the story tonight.
Alex, Mayor Jerry Dyer says this happened in Mayor, and that he says it hasn't been made public record because it's still currently being investigated by the FBI.
There has been information reported that there was an attempt to conceal this from the media. That is not true.
Mayor Dyer says he learned of the fraud a month before taking office, that in his first week he had a closed session meeting with the city council to make them aware of the situation.
That loss was about $400,000. Unfortunately, we then learned that there was a wire fraud that had occurred from some individual that was out of the country.
Dyer says at the time, the city of Fresno was building a $7 million Southeast police station where regular payments were being made.
The contractor had been sending regular invoices to the city for payment, and the city during that time received a invoice from what was thought to be that contractor.
He says the invoice for the $400,000 looks similar to the ones they received previously, but something was off.
Almost identical. The difference was a different bank number, which was not known at the time.
Dyer says the FBI told the city not to make the electronic fraud public, as it would compromise their investigation.
I've been very cautious and careful with my background as a police chief to say anything publicly about this until it was leaked to the media today. Today,
we're learning a request for more information made by the Fresno Bee in 2020 asked the city for
That email did not contain the words wire fraud, which is why it was not discovered in the search conducted by the Information Services Department.
The Fresno Bee's request bringing this whole investigation to light. Out of the $400,000 lost, the city has only recovered $1,600 of it.
I wish this would have never happened in the first place. I believe that Mayor Brand and the city manager at that time were attempting to prevent a active criminal investigation from being compromised.
We reached out to the former mayor, Lee Brand, about the investigation. He said, quote, "We were told by the FBI not to talk about the investigation." He goes on to say, "You have a council that leaks everything." Live from City Hall, Jennifer Ortega, KSEE 24, local news that matters.
Jennifer, thank you. And as the city hopes to recover that stolen money, this can happen to anyone. Our Catherine Phillips in the newsroom with more on why one expert believes this scam could have been prevented.
It all started right here at the computer. Fresno Mayor Jerry Dyer says someone in charge of paying a contractor for work the city was having done didn't realize bank account information numbers didn't line up exactly right. Now, business IT experts say this could happen to anyone.
If you don't have the proper checks and balances in place and the proper training with personnel to be aware of these kinds of things and that they can happen and that they are common, then this type of problem can happen again and again and again.
Business IT consultant J. Colin Peterson says the city of Fresno losing $400,000 to an online phishing scam is all too common.
More than 90% of security breaches have nothing to do with the technology, but everything to do with the humans operating the technology.
Fresno Mayor Jerry Dyer says in 2020, before he took office, an employee tried to send money to a contractor building the new police substation. The invoice looked legit, as the city was currently already making payments. Except the employee didn't send the $400,000 to the contractor. Instead, it was sent to an overseas bank account in two separate $200,000 payments. A slight change in the routing number on the invoice was all it took for the city to fall victim to the scam. Dyer says now the city has more safeguards in place.
It is multiple people looking at the invoice, comparing past account numbers of bank accounts. If there's any suspicion, to reach out to the contractor to verify, in fact, that was the invoice they sent. So there are steps that are in play now that would minimize the chance of this ever occurring again.
And while this happened under the former mayor, Dyer says he's sorry and wants this to serve as a wake-up call.
But to see that a government agency can lose $400,000 in this fashion, I think sends a message.
Experts say this can happen to individuals too. Peterson says every time you pay of payment and to have a healthy dose of skepticism. Reporting in the newsroom, Catherine Phillips, KSEE 24, local news that matters.
Late tonight, the House passing a spending bill to fund the federal government through September. The $1.5 trillion package includes more than $13 billion in military and economic aid for Ukraine. It happens as Russian troops now fight their way into Kyiv. Ukrainians are preparing for the worst, and the U.S. and NATO allies hoping to bolster Ukraine's defenses without getting dragged into what some experts are now calling World War III.
What we're looking at is whether or not President Putin will decide to try to finally cut the losses that he's inflicted on himself.
The U.S. is looking to backfill Russian oil with imports from Venezuela.
Ukrainian officials say at least one person was killed and 2 were rescued after an airstrike on a dormitory building in a city in the northwest part of the country. A fire broke out, but it was brought under control.
Citizens in Kherson protesting Russian forces have detained more than 400 people, but there's no word if anyone at this protest was detained.
Okay, there are many shops in Russia that are saying that they are closing because of self-sanctioning. So let's go and see. This is the biggest mall in St. Petersburg and the most famous one.
Several stores now closed at the Galleria shopping mall in St. Petersburg, Russia. It comes as numerous companies have cut ties with Russia, and videos posted on social media show many of the most expensive shops are among those that have closed down.
Some Ukrainian musicians playing the song Don't Worry, Be Happy in the port city of Odessa. They gathered in front of the city's opera house, which is being protected with sandbags.
And with gas prices soaring, local leaders say they're looking for ways to ease the burden. Fresno City Councilman Tyler Maxwell working on a proposal that would provide free bus rides to some residents.
A lot of these gas prices are out of the hands of the local government. We do hear you, we understand your frustration, and we're going to do everything that we can by providing alternative means of public transportation via our buses.
Also, Fresno County Supervisor Nathan Magzig sending a letter to Governor Newsom calling for a suspension of the state gas tax. The letter reads in part, many of the residents of Fresno County live at or below the poverty line. To pay an additional $20 to $40 a week to fill up would take away their ability to afford prescription medicines, utility bills, and other essential purchases, end quote.
New at 11, the principal of a Sacramento area high school apologizing to Buchanan High School and soccer player Sierra Wilson. The team was playing Oak Ridge High School Saturday when a spectator was captured on video making a gorilla-like noise while Wilson, who is African-American, made the final penalty kick of her high school career. Some of her teammates were left in tears, and Buchanan High School's athletic director confirming the apology and says the student who made racial slurs is being reprimanded for their actions.
Still to come on KSEE 24 News at 11, more questions than answers in the early morning death of a man in Fresno.
More on where it happened and the status of the investigation.
It's imperative that we now start to give rigorous attention to understanding and treating long COVID in the months and years to come.
And the state of California looking to prepare for the long-term health effects of COVID-19.
Your weather headlines for tonight. Clear skies continue for the next couple of days. The change is a breeze, and we're expecting that tomorrow, and it'll be cooler as a result. Don't forget, we're changing our clocks. We're springing forward this weekend. Your 4-day allergy forecast brought to you by Boz Allergy will be in the high or very high range into the weekend. Elm, ash, and oak, the predominant pollens. I'll have your complete forecast as KSEE 24 News continues.
I see on KSEE stories of everyday people making a big difference. I see farmers and ranchers providing food for the nation. The work they do is so vitally important, and that inspires me to make sure they know what to prepare for from their connected in the Central Valley. I see what matters. I see local stories making an impact, and I invite you to see it all here every day on KSEE 24 News.
The 3-row Subaru Ascent. Room for up to 8 passengers. Technology. Standard symmetrical all-wheel drive plus up to 27 miles. Book's most trusted and best overall brand for 2021. The 3-row Subaru Ascent. Love is now bigger than ever.
Get to Subaru of Fresno, where every new Subaru comes with complimentary maintenance included.
Hey everyone, tonight we have an all-new show. Samuel L. Jackson will be here. Rupert Grint will be joining us. And we have a performance from Wet Leg. It's a great show tonight.
Don't miss an all-new Tonight Show, starring Jimmy Fallon, tonight on NBC.
On the corner of Van Ness and Tulare in downtown Fresno, in what is now the fully restored Rowell Building, fashion furniture got its start in 1960. Fast forward 6 decades, and this is what fashion furniture looks like today. 50,000 square feet of the most beautiful home decorating ideas you've ever seen, including the largest selection of American-made furniture in the Valley. Fashion furniture on El Paso across from River Park. There's nothing like it in all of California.
KSEE 24 News is brought to you in part by Jacoby and Myers.
Now, AMS certified chief meteorologist AJ Authority forecast.
Well, we told you it would get a little bit warmer today, and it did, well above average and into the 70s. Our afternoon high was 72 degrees after a morning low of 44. The morning low a little bit below average. We're at 55 now. Same in Visalia and Hanford, 46 in Porterville, 50 in Madera, 48 in Merced, and right now 47 in Lemoore. We're a bit warmer than yesterday, 24 hours ago. Look at Hanford, 10 degrees warmer. Porterville, right at the same spot it was yesterday, 3 degrees warmer in Fresno. So it takes a little more time when you get a little warmer. You got to have a little more time to cool off, but our clear skies are actually making things available. Can you see that on your HD television? Right there, I see a few dots. That's actually the Orion constellation just getting ready to set over the horizon. Take a look at our live radar. You can see that our skies are clear, and that's going to be remaining true for us, even with a little bit of a jet stream getting closer to the Sierra Nevada. It'll bring clouds, maybe even some high elevation snow, but only to the mountain areas. On the valley floor, we're going to stay dry. We're going to stay clear. The only thing that changes for us is a little bit of an increase in wind, nothing worth an advisory, but we are going to see the breeze bring us the cooler temperatures. Numbers will be down into the 30s tonight, like 38 in Delano, otherwise low 40s. 40 in Visalia, 44 in Selma, San Joaquin 44, 43 in Mendota and Fireball, and Dos Palos, 42 in Merced and Los Banos. High temperature of 65 in Mariposa, Chowchilla and Fireball 70, 61 in Oakhurst, 70 for 5 Points, Coalinga 69 degrees, 70 in Hanford, 68 in Corcoran, Visalia, Pixley 66, Porterville and Delano both 65 degrees. Our air quality, that's going to be in the good to moderate range. It's from Fresno northward, and then anything south of that's in the good range. Your renewable solar forecast, high on Saturday, but still pretty good. Tonight you can expect clear skies. Overnight low for Fresno and Clovis will be down to 44, and the breezes will start picking up late, very early in the morning tomorrow, in fact, and so up to 15-mile-per-hour breezes will be with us, and as a result, we lose a few degrees. Not low 70s, but 69 the expected high, and over the next 7 days, temperatures are going to be getting a little bit warmer again. We're in fact, look at Saturday, 77 expected, and after that, a little hiccup, 74 on Sunday, then back up again, increasing clouds Monday, but still 76. The breeze kicks in on Tuesday, and into Wednesday, the lower 70s return, and our overnight lows dip down into the 40s after spending a little time in the lower 50s. Don't forget to change your clocks. Saturday night, we're going to set it ahead an hour, and everybody gets grumpy about that because you lose an hour of sleep that way. Your regional forecasts are available on our website at yourcentralvalley.com, so please go check them out there. But things are going to be mild for us. Any snow to be had, not going to be a lot, but you know, it's just for the mountains. No chance of rain for us on the valley floor, and yeah, February was a big disappointment, and so March is starting out that way too.
We got a little bit of rain, but not much.
Not much.
All right, AJ, thank you. Coming up next in sports, the Bulldogs still alive, barely, in Vegas.
Andrew Martin joining us now with that story and more. Andrew.
Well, barely alive is good enough, guys. Not quite playing with house money just yet, since Fresno State was the higher seed and was supposed to beat 11th-seeded San Jose State. It wasn't easy. We'll show you just how close things were. A report from Las Vegas is next in Sports Central.
Your health is our focus. That's why we're telling stories that inspire, educate, and promote wellness. Stories straight from our own community. Join us each week for MedWatch Today, Saturday on KSEE 24.
Grass is sprouting and flowers are blooming earlier than usual. Boz Allergy knows colds and viruses have similar symptoms to allergies, asthma, and sinus issues. With proper diagnosis and treatment, you can live a full life. Contact Boz Allergy today and breathe easier.
Disaster and damage. Know the
professionals at Servpro have the training and equipment to get your life back on the right track. Whether it's water, fire, or storm damage, for restoration and cleaning, count on Servpro of Clovis, Visalia, Fresno, and Shaver.
If you're a small business owner or individual that owes $10,000 or more to the IRS, SBA Accounting and Tax Solutions may be able to settle your debt for up to 85% off the amount owed. Our Central Valley Tax Resolution Specialists will structure a plan to free you from unfiled returns, wage garnishments, bank levies, and IRS harassment. Call today for your confidential consultation and free report on how to end your IRS problems. SBA Accounting and Tax Solutions will help you get your life back.
Grass is sprouting and flowers are blooming earlier than usual. Boz Allergy knows colds and viruses have similar symptoms to allergies, asthma, and sinus issues. With proper diagnosis and treatment, you can live a full life. Contact Boz Allergy today and breathe easier.
KSEE 24 News is brought to you in part by Jacoby and Myers.
Now, Sports Central, presented by Toyota.
As the 6th seed in this year's Mountain West tournament, the Fresno State men's basketball team did not receive a first-round bye. That means the Bulldogs are potentially looking at 4 games in 4 days, after playing 3 games in 6 days a week ago. That's a lot of basketball. Fresno State matched up with San Jose State in the first round of the conference tournament. The Bulldogs blew out the Spartans in both of their regular season matchups. Early on, Orlando Robinson setting the tone. Named first team All-Mountain West yesterday, Robinson scored 31 points, a game high, but even he couldn't stop the Bulldogs from playing in overtime for the 3rd consecutive game. The previous 2, they lost. This one, they won, thanks to this floater from Jordan Campbell with less than a second to play. Bulldogs advance, 69-67 the final score. Sports Central's Scott Bemis continues our team coverage in Las Vegas.
I'm Scott Bemis in Las Vegas with another report brought to you by Fashion Furniture. The Mountain West tournament for the Fresno State men was nearly over before it really even got started. Against last place San Jose State, the 6th seeded Bulldogs were in a fight from the jump. The lead changed hands 12 times, and neither team led by more than 5. But in a season filled with near misses, Jordan Campbell came up close. Second to go in overtime that ended up being the game winner.
Played the game how I see it, and the ball was in my hand, the clock running down, and I just made the best play I could.
The Dogs handily beat San Jose State twice during the regular season, but coming off back-to-back overtime road losses at San Diego State and Wyoming last week, Coach Hudson admitted afterwards his team was a little tired.
We were stepped slow a little bit tonight, and it has something to do with San Jose and has something to do with us, with a little bit of fatigue. But to be able to go 4 of 23 from 3 and 19 of 32 from the line and come out with a W in March, we'll take it.
They brought the fight today, but I'm just proud of our guys and how we handled it, and we came out victorious.
They'll have a little over 24 hours to rest and recover before Thursday's showdown with 3rd-seeded San Diego State, a team that has beaten the Dogs twice in the last 3 weeks and is in the hunt for an NCAA tournament bid.
San Diego State is tough. They play tough defensively, so we just got to take care of the ball, take quality shots, and just be the resilient team that we are.
Thursday's game between the Bulldogs and Aztecs will be the last of 4 quarterfinals being contested here at the Thomas & Mack, with tip-off scheduled for 8:30 p.m. In Las Vegas, Scott Bemis for Sports Central.
Thanks, Scott. In the NBA, the Rockets beat the Lakers in overtime 139-130. Fresno native Jalen Green scored a game-high 32 points. Also, both the Fresno State baseball and softball teams lost on Wednesday. Baseball on the road at USF, softball at home to UCF. And that's your look at sports. We'll be right back.
Future professionals follow their dreams and reach great goals. We can help you pursue your career in cosmetology or barbering, and financial aid is available to those who qualify. Come make it happen now at Paul Mitchell The School, Fresno.
Accelerated Urgent Care is now offering rapid COVID testing. Receive your COVID-19 results on site in just 10 minutes. That's right, COVID-19 results in just 10 minutes. Accelerated Urgent Care, expert care on your time.
Your
different from the other kids. You're so mature. It'll be our secret.
These are things that abusers say to gain the trust of kids. When the abuser is a priest, it's even more devastating for the child who trusted them. For over 30 years, Jeff Anderson has been fighting for survivors of child sexual abuse in California. If you were sexually abused, it's time to take your power back. Call Jeff Anderson and Associates confidentially today. 1-800-IT'S-TIME.
Don't just rely on your cell phone to connect to the internet. Get Xfinity Unlimited Mobile with 5G and home internet for only $24.95 a month when you qualify for the Affordable Connectivity Program. Reliable internet at home so you can do more streaming, chatting, and gaming, plus a modem included at no extra cost. Act now and get Xfinity Unlimited Mobile with 5G and internet together for just $24.95 a month, only from Xfinity. Click, call, or visit a store to learn more.
Get ready to come on down. The Price is Right Live is on its way. On stage and in person. Woo! Featuring an award-winning host, your favorite games, he ate this spot, and fabulous cash. Will you be the next contestant?
We showed up and we won!
Get your tickets now for The Price is Right live on stage.
Eagle Mountain Casino, April 30th and May 1st. Tickets are $30 and $40. EagleMTNCasino.com.
Accelerated Urgent Care is now offering rapid COVID testing. Receive your COVID-19 results on site in just 10 minutes. That's right, COVID-19 results in just 10 minutes. Accelerated Urgent Care, expert care on your time.
Now YourCentralValley.com, pros who know.
Don't be fooled by imitation stem cell treatments. For real regeneration, we use your own body's stem cells to turn damaged tissue into healthier ones. Call us today for an appointment.
For more expert advice, go to YourCentralValley.com/pros who know.
This is KSEE 24 News at 11.
A murder investigation underway after an early morning shooting in central Fresno. Police say a man was shot on Holland Avenue near Fresno Street just after 4 this morning. He was taken to CRMC where he later died. His identity has not yet been released, and investigators haven't named any suspects.
In Sacramento, state lawmakers holding a hearing today on the impacts of long-term COVID-19 cases and how the state should prepare. Experts say patients with the so-called long COVID have ongoing physical and mental issues with many unknowns ahead.
It's imperative that we now start to give rigorous attention to understanding and treating long COVID in the months and years to come.
A few 100,000 people, at least in the state of California, could end up with profound residual disease that's having a big impact on their day-to-day life.
State today, but say they will use the information from these hearings to create future policies. According to the Mayo Clinic, more than 2 million Americans may not be able to return to work due to COVID-related disabilities.
Still to come, a cat that likely used up more than one of her lives, her 9 lives, when she survived a tornado.
But she did end up with a few battle scars. We'll tell you all about this story coming up.
There's only one certified most accurate weather team.
A couple of days where the cool down is definitely coming our way.
Certified by Weather Rate, an independent agency rating every forecast every day.
Tonight, you see it popping up on our radar already.
For 8 years, AJ Fox and your local weather authority is certified most accurate. Don't trust just any source for local weather. Trust us, because accuracy matters. The only certified accurate team, Central California's most accurate forecast, every day on KSEE 24.
If you've been injured in an accident that's not your fault and you don't have an attorney, listen up. We have legal professionals standing by to answer your questions and tell you what your case is potentially worth. Hi, I'm Gina, along with spokesman Rob. So, Rob, tell the folks at home who should call right now.
Just like you said, Gina, anyone who's been injured in an accident, give us a call right now. We're going to answer all of your questions, and we'll let you know what your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Rob. You heard it, folks at home. Pick up the phone, call now.
Guess it's time to go to Horn Photo.
We really know what moms want. Pictures, memories. All the time. We see the magic. Cry. time. Some even cry happy tears. The best gift is right at your fingertips, online right now.
No matter what's happening outside with the Lennox Ultimate Comfort System, it's always perfect inside. Not just perfect air, perfectly tuned to your home air. And operates whisper quiet.
The Lennox Ultimate Comfort System. Perfect air, fully realized. Don't you wish everything was perfect? Lennox, air is life. Make it perfect.
Call Donald P. Dick Air Conditioning today.
What makes best reviews the best reviews? They have an unbiased team that researches products in real-world situations to get reliable recommendations on pretty much everything.
Call that a plasma sword?
So you can be confident that whatever you're buying is right for you, no matter what life throws at it. Like your daughter Clementine, for example. For the best reviews, go to bestreviews.com. Seriously, before you buy anything, ever.
KSEE 24 is your local election headquarters, and each week, Alexandre Balakian talks with local leaders discussing the issues that matter to our valley and their impact on you and your family. Sunday Morning Matters, every Sunday morning at 8 on KSEE 24.
Hi, folks, we're back, and we're here to remind you, if you've been injured in an accident that's not your fault and you don't have an attorney, listen up. We have legal professionals standing by to tell you how much money you can get for your accident and how quickly. Hello, I'm Gina, along with spokesperson Rob. Rob, tell the folks at home who should call right now.
Just like you said, Gina, anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault, you don't have an attorney, give us a call right now, and we'll let you know how much money you can get for your accident.
Thanks, Rob. Call now.
An Iowa woman paying homage to the Wizard of Oz after her cat survives a harrowing experience.
The cat's name now Dorothy, following Saturday's tornado that reduced much of Patty Arnold's farm to rubble.
Because the only thing left is the door laying on the ground and the floor. So I don't know how she did it. God was with her too.
Well, the battle scars Dorothy had were fur matted in mud, sticks, and debris. Her shed carried across the street in the tornado, and Arnold says she may never know how exactly Dorothy managed to survive the storm, but she can say she avoided a catastrophe.
There you go.
Yeah.
See? A lot of courage and heart right there. Any other bad cat jokes before you do the final weather?
Come on, I know you can
come
on,
up with AJ.
One.
I don't have any. Sorry.
It's too late.
Yeah, temperatures are going to be a little bit warmer for us. Temperatures get back into the 70s after a bit of a cool down for tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Good night.
KSEE 24 is your local election headquarters, and each week, Alexandre Balakian talks with local leaders discussing the issues that matter to our valley and their impact on you and your family. Sunday Morning Matters, every Sunday morning at 8 on KSEE 24.
Ventura TV is your low-price leader for brand-name appliances in the valley. Save on Whirlpool's 7 cubic foot steam clothes dryer, priced so low the big box stores just can't compete. Buy the